Hi Gemini, I hope you're all doing well. In today's reading, we'll be looking at whoever you're thinking about for January. Very positive feeling from this reading for the most part. So this can be a Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo. We also have Libra, Aquarius. But definitely Gemini here 3 times. Wow. But then in their personality, we have 6 of Wands, 10 of Wands, which can be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Who this person is, very successful, someone who is celebrated for their accomplishments. They're well known. They can have a social media presence, but more so in terms of their work. I'm getting they're very hardworking and they're recognized for that quality of theirs. Likely someone who has worked their way up the ladder, right? Someone who's extremely confident. That is coming through. Yeah, as I say, that sun bottom deck energy. Depends on what you're looking for, but strong alpha male energies or alpha female. Very strong, sturdy energy. Someone who knows their worth, right? They can be in a position of leadership. They do have leadership skills here. That is coming through. Some of them can be self-employed here. But even if they work, say, within a group setting, a team, they'll put in their share of work, right? This is not a freeloader or anything. They can be someone who is very busy. They have a lot of responsibilities. They're always out and about accomplishing, setting new goals, right? Okay, who is Gemini single's next date? What can you tell us about them? Also, I'm being drawn to because 6 of Wands is someone who's at the forefront, right? In the public eye. But if we look at the 10 of Wands, he's hiding behind the sticks. So this can also be someone who is well known, but maybe it's a general reading. I'll give you examples. It can be someone who's well known, but they prefer to be behind the scenes. They could be well known, but more so for their craft. It doesn't mean that their face is everywhere or they're physically present, you know? Does that make sense? Like it can be they're known for their clothing line or, for example, say the tarot cards, right? You're not seeing my face. So it can be something like that here as well. Gemini. And we have the 2 faces here as well. I am getting a bit of an ambivert energy from them as well, right? Someone who can get drained very easily because I was also seeing 12th house. So they're surrounded by a lot of people, but they need time to recharge their batteries. It's almost empath energy I'm getting from them. But we also have curious, communicative, versatile, flexible, social. Yeah, they can be street smart, restless. And we also have conjunction, empowerment. Who is Gemini single's next date? But also I'm being drawn to that twin energy. And we have the lovers. Sun. That's funny. Sun and Gemini. Well, this is definitely your reading. Yeah, a confident speaker. Some of them may be working in the communication sector, but they're a strong communicator. They have no problem with expressing themselves clearly. But it's sort of a public speaker vibe I am getting from them. 12th house Neptune. They may have strong 12th house or Neptune placements. Pisces energy. A dreamer. They are very romantic once they let their guard down. Once they reveal their true nature to you with the 10 of Wands. Right? They drop the sticks and they let you see themselves. They're not vulnerable with just about anyone. This is a great person in social settings. They're great at small talk, right? But when it comes to their inner world, I don't think they let a lot of people in. And they have a very rich inner world with 12th house Neptune. A lot of depth to this person. May appear a bit superficial, like they're all about appearances, looking good. You know, they care about what other people think of them, but yeah, once you get to know them, you'll discover a different side, which is why I'm getting that duality here of your sign, right? but very lucky person. I mean, they put in the work, but they're also blessed by the stars, perhaps a very powerful natal chart here coming through. How you'll meet them, we have the Tower. The way you meet this person can be very unexpected, right? Tower has that Uranus energy where it's like lightning. You never know when it's going to hit, where it's coming from. That's sort of the vibe. So it's a surprise how you meet them. And another interpretation can be that there's something chaotic happening in either your life or this person's, right? So there may be some unexpected event that brings you both together. With my homemade deck, we have patience. I think you're the second side to get this. So if you've been obsessing or waiting on this person, they're saying go with the flow. We have you will approach them first. We also have May, November, so those months could hold some significance. We have through physical exercise, gym, so working out. They look like they work out here. 10 of Wands, he's strong enough to carry those 10 sticks, right? So it definitely can be gym, hiking. That was getting sort of an outdoor scenario here as well for some of you. We have in 1 year, so I'm getting within 1 year. And we have you, you're the only sign to get this. You will get married quite fast after meeting them. So this is not something that's slow and steady. It's almost like you meet and things are moving forward. So if you want marriage or commitment, perhaps that is what is unexpected with the Tower, right? You're sitting there single, nothing's happening, and next thing you know, right? You're off and getting married or something. Because I see fast movement here in your outcome as well. 8 of Wands, you moving in together. Something's happening here and it will be out of the blue. Very exciting, especially because you're the only sign to get that so far. And we have what? Libra and Aquarius to film after you. When we have 9 of Pentacles, that's not really giving me much. It's telling me you both will be single, independent, and you're ready for this commitment. But literally 9 can be 9 weeks, the 9th month, right? So September. But with this timing deck, we have make up for lost time. Again, sort of a farm setting outside, but they're in formal attire here. Some of you may even meet at someone's wedding or some function where you have to dress up. So it's a random meeting, which is why the Tower makes sense, right? But you'll be very much in awe of one another. They're saying, yeah, some of you may have been single for a while, which is why make up for lost time. They're saying it's not too late, right? We have stop waiting. And we have not only stop waiting, we have patience. So that may be slowing down the process if we're sort of too focused on calling someone in. It's remain open, be receptive, but don't cling too tightly. And we have spring here. Specifically, June was coming through bottom deck, and we had October. So it can also be that situation where you meet in June, and by October you're fully committed. That is a possibility here. This person's energy on the first date, 5-5. Fives talk about challenges, difficulties. If I look at the spread as a whole, there is some challenges with the way you communicate with one another. This person can be very combative. They may like to argue. So there may be some points where you're not in agreement with. There may be some disagreements, petty arguments. I mean, it's a minor arcana. It's nothing you can't work through, right? And for some, others of you, there's many possibilities for how you meet. What they were telling me is that it's unexpected. And online dating is very common these days. So for example, if you are meeting this person on social media somehow, it can be there's other people involved, right? And this person sort of having to filter through their options here. And you may as well with the Page of Swords. But the way you both communicate with each other is a little bit childish, if I were to be honest. You're not childish people by any means. You're the King and Queen of Swords. We have a match here. But the way you're approaching each other on this first date is a bit childish. Let's figure out what is going on here. Why is Five of Wands coming through for Gemini singles next date? Give us more clarity. Wow, 555. Maybe around the time you meet, there's a lot of challenges for this person when it comes to their finances, or something about their family. Queen of Pentacles, perhaps they feel very insecure, they're getting older. There's a few things, but I think a lot of internal conflict going on, but also external. It's almost you meet this person around the time they're going through some difficulties, is what the cards are indicating. Why is Five of Swords here? Moon, yeah. Some of them have been through a difficult separation, breakup. Justice, the Moon. And you represent a new chapter. Perhaps they weren't even expecting you, right? They've recently walked away from something and then communication comes in. But they're on the fence here. They have emotions. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, but the only thing that will be holding this person back initially will be their insecurities. And it doesn't help that the circumstances they're in aren't the most uplifting either. Can be conflict with family, something to do with the job, loss, finances. Difficult energy is all I'll say. Your energy, we have Page of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. You're stable. You know what you want is what I'm getting. I see you've really worked on yourself. And you will be curious about this energy. Page of Swords are very inquisitive, so you'll be asking a lot of questions. But you're a bit suspicious when it comes to this energy. Why is Page of Swords here for Gemini singles energy? But you are extremely hardworking as well, and you will be work will be your priority, right? Yeah, look at you. Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the World. But you see this person as worthy, someone that you can build with. Some of you may lend support here, financially or emotionally, right? A lot of you, this has potential to be the one, Gemini. You see a lot of potential here. I'm seeing Pentacles come through. Why is Eight of Pentacles here for Gemini singles energy? Yeah, you feel this person holds back a lot. They're hiding something from you. Strong chemistry here. You're willing to put in the work. You really like this person. Especially physically, they're exactly your type. So yeah, I see you reaching out. We also had you will be making the first move, perhaps sending that first message. That'll be for some of you, right? Keep in mind, if you don't like to do the approaching, it's okay. This person's a great communicator. They're confident, right? So they won't have an issue. They're very attracted to you as well. But yeah, you're willing to put in the work in terms of you'll be really communicative with them, right? Really getting to know their mind, how they think, what they're about, what they like, what they don't like, right? It's a detective energy. So gathering information and slowly but surely building here. I think the way it starts off is a bit slow, but once you really let your guards down, it'll be moving full force ahead, is the vibe I'm getting. How they'll be viewing you, Four of Wands. Someone they could potentially have family with, even children, but Four of Wands can be a celebration, perhaps similar backgrounds, you have a lot in common. There is some challenges, differences here, but there's also a lot of things that you both can relate over, right? It may be similar backgrounds, but different personality. I don't know, for the most part, you both do think alike. We have the King and Queen of Swords, right? You're both very intelligent and you will respect each other's opinions. And perhaps your first date isn't the best, but if I look at the rest of your spread, I think this person will be worthy of a second date. It's one of those situations that gets better with time. So that's a bit of advice I have for you when you do meet them. But they'll see you as very stable, someone that they can build a home with, someone they can see themselves being with. You will be viewing them as the magician, someone who's... It's funny though, because there's a lot of insecurities, but how you're seeing them as someone who's very capable, powerful, dominant, someone who can make something out of nothing. You think they're magical. They're so charming. They're great with their words. They're strong intellectual bond here. They'll be stimulating your mind here for sure. Can be a bit sassy though with the Five of Swords. Maybe their form of flirting with you, right? The way they flirt with you is through the intellect, the mind, words. Some of you, I don't know like where you're at here on your journey. You know what it's reminding me of? You know, in high school when you like someone, you're being mean to them, taking little digs at them. Some of you, it's not for everyone, but for some of you, that's what I'm getting here with the Page of Swords. Or you may just feel really childlike with each other, right? Teasing each other is what I'm trying to say. The potential outcome, we have Two of Cups, Eight of Wands. Yeah, this is a soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, but there's a strong physical, emotional connection here, a deep understanding that both of you are very special to one another and that this has potential to be something long-term. Strong emotional support coming through, and things will really move quickly after you meet here is what is coming through. A lot of back and forth communication. Some of you traveling is involved, so back and forth traveling, right? But a lot of back and forth communication. You'll be in constant touch with one another, right? And the more time, energy you spend with each other, the better, the stronger this love grows, is the vibe I'm getting. I did ask, is there potential for long-term? We have Knight of Wands, Three of Wands, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, the Lovers. Yeah, I see travel here, so there may be short or long distance here, but I see making plans here for the future. You're not quite at the 4, but this person's very hopeful. They're very charged up. They want to make this happen, but that's a mutual energy, and this is a great match. You both can really work here. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, the Lovers. It's like a match made in heaven. You're the only sign to get both of these cards come through. So definitely something stable. The most positive reading, I'm telling you, Gemini. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. We have tenderness. So yeah, it's almost a sensual energy, but I was talking about physical attraction. The chemistry is through the roof. You'll really enjoy the first date. You really like the way this person looks, the way they carry themselves. They are very popular, so some of them can just be conventionally very attractive, or just the way they present themselves, right, is very intriguing. You find them sexy is what I'm getting, but you'll be very tender, sweet with them. We have a love bond. They still love their person, not leaving them for you. No real issues in their union. Hopefully this isn't a third party. I don't get that, right? But if I read the wording, I'm not being drawn to the wording here, really. I'm more so being drawn to love bond with tenderness, right? So a lot of affection, chemistry. You may go for, ooh, yeah, they have wine here. Candlelight dinner. That is the vibe with tenderness. It's very intimate, this first date. Even if you're in a restaurant, you may be sort of off on your own, or you just get lost in each other's eyes, like everyone else disappears. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting. You have so many after your love. How could you possibly only want me? I'm not sure if I will be enough for you. So some of you, this person's not, if I were to be honest, not acting right on this first date. Perhaps a little bit of nervousness, who knows, right? They have some external things going on, which is why I was telling you to give them another chance if the first date doesn't go well. But you also may feel that, oh, who else is this person dealing with, right? So some insecurities coming through in your energy, but that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. We have the movies. Let's go to the movies and share an experience. So some of you, ooh, you may be cuddling or like very touchy-feely at the movies, because I was getting you both sort of being lost in each other, right? Not really paying attention. I don't know. There may be some physical touch here for some of you. It really depends. We have spontaneous. I know it's a bit last minute and not exactly planned, but would you mind going out? So this date may be very spontaneous, unexpected. We have an element of surprise here. So one minute you're single and next minute, you're on a date, you randomly meet someone, right? That's sort of the vibe. But even say you're online dating, maybe you haven't planned this date, right? For weeks in advance, it sort of just happens. And this person's in their car driving to you or vice versa, or, I do see a little bit of travel here. Let's look at their energy. So we have loneliness and we have communication. Again, there's distance between the two. And we see the phone, the mail, right? The cell phone. And they're intertwined here. You're at a distance, which is why a lot of you I'm feeling maybe online somehow. Or you meet in person and then there's separation. But this person's, maybe they've been lonely, they're single for a long time, maybe even their whole life, I'm not sure, but maybe for a while, right? And they're ready to put themselves out there. They want a partner, they're open. I don't see them holding on to past energy. I don't think that is something you'll have to worry about. We have being charmed. I'm trying to put you under my spell. That is how you were seeing them. Magician, very good with their words, very seductive in their mannerisms, but also their words. But do you see the closeness? I need to show you. The imagery is really standing out to me. He's kissing her forehead and it seems like he's kissing her neck, or yeah. There's affection here. And in your feelings, we had tenderness, right? A lot of laughter. The cup here, we have McDonald's, but we have popcorn, movies, we have wine. You'll really have fun here. We have next level. Yeah, holding hands. Their hands are intertwined. This is true love. It's so sweet. I want to take you to the next level of love. Yeah, they see you as the 4 of Wands. You're at the 3. They're wanting to move forward. They choose you. You're the one they want. That is what I'm getting. Okay, we have separation here. Needing time to clear their mind. Temporary break. Too many obstacles to overcome. I didn't read this, but wasn't I telling you about the 555? Too many obstacles to overcome. Maybe there's a lot getting in the way of you two coming together in the first place, but it's also temporary break, right? So it's temporary distance. So don't lose hope here if there is a period of separation. We have love or money. Sex for money, in it purely for personal benefit, in the relationship for money. I don't see that. I don't see, that is something you'll have to look, if there's obvious red flags, right? And this person's always wanting something or the other from you. That is something you'll have to take into consideration. But I see we wouldn't have the 2 of Cups, right? It's 2 people staring deeply into one another's eyes. There's true love here. But some of you may be more financially stable, or this can be a situation where they've been taken advantage of for what they have, because they're very hardworking, right? Some of them well known. And that is what they are afraid of with the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords can be playing games with another, testing another, right? What do you really want? What are your true intentions? So that is what is going on here as well. Observing you closely. They're a very good manipulator. If they choose to manipulate, they're a pro. I'm telling you, Magician, 5 of Swords. Great at getting information out of another. But you're also no fool. This will be interesting. But I don't see anything malicious here, really, Gemini. We have, I'm resisting my desire for you because it's too late now. I wasted too much time. Some of you, very few of you, this may be reconciliation with the past person. They're hesitant to come back to you because they're afraid of your reaction, rejection. But if they come in, it can work. Always listen to your intuition. You know better, but it can work. And others of you are just resisting my desire. Maybe I'm holding back quite a bit for a new person, right? They're not being overtly passionate or flirty with you. It's more so getting to know you, right? Conversation. Oh, you make me feel happy and complete. Your presence soothes me. Yeah, you're like their other half. You fulfill them. They're very happy. And you will be as well. It's mutual. I love it. Let's get more hints about this person. I think this is one of my favorite readings so far. Hopefully the other oracle cards will be as positive. Hints about this person. Who is Gemini singles? Next up. There was one sign where I had Gemini the X. Gemini the X. So if you, maybe if you're dealing with a Scorpio, that person may be wanting to come back because you showed up in the reading. I think, right? I'm not sure, but I feel it was Scorpio. Who is Gemini single? Next state. Any clues about this person for Gemini? Okay, what was wanting to flip through was Capricorn and strong earth. So this person may have strong earth placements. Who is Gemini singles? Next state. Twin soul. Oh my god, don't you love... Sorry. Let me calm down. But I was telling you with the twins, the lovers, twin soul. Is that why Gemini kept coming out throughout this reading? A mirror of yourself. This is a connection that intends for you both to balance your feminine and masculine energies and evolve your soul. This is crazy. I'm telling you, this is the most powerful reading out of all 12. Well, I have 2 to film, but you get what I mean. Who is Gemini singles next state? Wow. You're manifesting something amazing. Large family. Your person is one of many. They may appreciate the connection with their siblings and family reunions. This person is very social, but perhaps they like to socialize with people they know, like their family, their friends. They may even consider their friends their family, right? That is what I'm getting. Or they just may have a very large family, cousins, you know, that sort of thing, siblings. But they're close to their immediate family is what I'm getting. And they'll want to include you. That's so beautiful. Not only will you be forming a bond with this person, but you have a lot of new energies that will be entering your life. So if you feel isolated or lonely or that you don't have people supporting you, I feel like this person's family will be very supportive of you both. They'll really like you. Wow. People will think you're, well, a good match with the King and Queen of Swords. They'll feel your chemistry, the way you interact with each other. It's very natural. It's not forced or anything. Who is Gemini singles next state? Now that makes sense with have patience, stop waiting. It's divine timing. And I actually have that in your advice, and you're the only sign to get divine timing in your advice. If it takes longer than the other signs, it's so worth it, Gemini, because a lot of you, this is the one you're meant to be with long term. We also have Leo coming through. Wasn't I telling you about leadership skills? Yeah. Strength and resilience, 10 of Wands. This person doesn't give up easily. They're very strong-willed. We have independent. This person has a strong sense of self and self-reliance. Strike a balance between individualism and connectedness. Yeah, they have that balance. That's not something you have to worry about. But they will need a lot of their alone time with the 12th house. I don't think you'll mind that. You have your own life. I don't see you clinging or anything. One more. You're reading so positive. I don't want to end this. Some of the readings were leaning on the more negative end, or they were very heavy to the point where I didn't want to film them. So this is like a really nice change for me. Who is Gemini singles next state? One more. Gemini singles next state. Mother. Your person has one or more children. You may become a father figure in their life. And we also have Taurus bottom deck energy. I mean, it's a general reading. I don't see that strongly here. But some of you, it can be if you're asking about a more, feminine energy. A woman, she may have a child already. Or it can be that something about their family, they may have a good relationship with their mom, their mother. What was wanting to flip through was when you least expect it. So I think that is why Tower was coming through for Hal. Who is Gemini singles next date? Tell us about this person. Health conscious. Yeah, I was telling you, strong, sturdy. And didn't we get you'll meet through physical exercise? Yeah. And they're loyal. So you may be working out and that is how you meet. Or something to do with health. Who is Gemini singles next date? Uh-oh. We have addicted to social media. Yeah, they can be. With all that Gemini coming through, Gemini can rule sort of online social media. We have best friend. But again, I'm being drawn to social media. And some of you, the distance, and we had the communication. So online, right? Initially, most of your conversation will be text messages or online. Through an app or something. Who is Gemini singles next date? I don't know if I should take this. I mean, they can be. We also have, did I mention best friend? That came through twice. We have irresponsible and adventurous spirit. But they can be. If I look at the Knight of Wands and that's their energy, right? So initially they may come across as a bit flighty or all over the place. Don't. Sorry, Gemini, I apologize. The video did cut through. I was almost at the end and I realized, okay, the camera's not even rolling. But yeah, we were talking about irresponsible and adventurous spirit. What I was feeling, right, was that it can be that this person has been very careless when it comes to their previous partners. So they may have been entering relationships for reasons other than love. We did have love or money. But more so maybe passion, right? Superficial relationships, people that sort of like arm candy or something along those lines. It's a full energy I'm getting. Someone who's been a bit, yeah, irresponsible, not wanting to be tied down. But I don't see that energy here when it comes to you. Maybe initially. I don't see this lasting long. I think it was their past energy. We had single parent, which we also had mother, right? Especially for the feminine energy, she may have children, right? But it's a general reading. We have family problems. This I mentioned briefly with that large family unit. So there's a lot of people. There can be some differences here and there, but I was mentioning that they're going through some challenges, and some of you, it can be some conflict within the home. But what I was pointing out to you when I realized the camera cut out was communication. So this was at the bottom deck of your advice. We have, there's a message from the heart trying to be expressed. Be mindful of what you say and use discernment. Yeah, it's telling you to be very careful with your choice of words. One of you may be overtly sensitive, so there is some misunderstandings here initially, right? Something you say is interpreted in a wrong way or something along those lines. But sometimes it can be difficult, right? When we're communicating text messages, we can't really, it's different from being face to face. So there can be some misunderstandings there, really, is what is coming through. We have unfolding. You closed a chapter in your life. However, the story is not over. Give it time to unfold and see it through the end. I can interpret this in two ways. Some of you know this person and it's been a bit rocky, right? And what is unexpected is that you'll be coming together and things will move to the next level. So that may be shocking. And others of you, it can be, actually I'm getting 3 scenarios here, right? Some of you, it can be that you've closed a chapter in your life, right? A difficult ending, a breakup, and you're saying, you've been waiting, you've been manifesting, you're not seeing the results, so it, you know, you feel like giving up. Oh, I'll be single for the rest of my life, but then the story is not over, right? You're meant to meet this individual. And third scenario I'm getting is that you don't know this person, and once you do meet, I was seeing some challenges here, obstacles, right? So you may feel when you're getting to know this person, okay, I don't see it working out. There's too many blockages in the way, distance, children, I don't know, whatever. And I feel like giving up, but they're saying, hang in there, the story is not over. We have divine timing. Have patience, crazy. Homemade deck, have patience. Have patience as nothing can occur until the conditions are completely ready. Trust in divine timing, which is why we had Tower Major Arcana for how you'll meet. This is divinely orchestrated. You're meant to cross paths, you're meant to meet this person, and a lot of you will be marrying this person, which is amazing. But yes, Gemini, that is what I have for you. Take care of yourself. Keep your thoughts positive. You're manifesting this person. Yes, you've been waiting for a while, right? But you have to have patience because likely this is a really serious, committed partnership that is coming through. But yes, take care of yourself and I'll see you next week. Bye.